Happy Thursday, everyone. Sean's over there. He doesn't even have his headphones on. What are you doing, Sean?
Trying to figure out where my notes are. My headphones aren't even working.
Okay. Is that better? Can you hear?
Yeah, it's sort of no, it's not.
Everything was out of whack when we got in here just a
Okay, I
second
think I
ago.
got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, sorry, folks. We only have a few minutes when we get in here to set everything up, and so some of the other hosts have things done other ways, and sometimes we can't start as quickly as we want to. So, but anyway, we're up and running. We did get some breaking news while on the drive over here. They have selected
White
a new.
smoke.
That's white smoke. It's Donald Trump is the new pope. So he will
Well,
be
no, I thought they had already done this because we saw the orange smoke, and I thought we already had a new pope. But
That's right. He's there now. They have just elected a new pope. I think we're waiting. I was listening on the way in to see who it is. Lindsay, any ideas of who it may be? If you've been following the papal lottery, the papal, the people, there's like the betting markets bet on this. I don't even know the candidates though. I mean,
me either. I mean, I guess it's not me. They would have told me by now, huh?
I mean, I don't know. How do you there was all these criteria they were talking about who gets to be pope. Like, can you speak a lot of languages? Do you have international relations? It sounds like you're running for Secretary of State almost, which I guess it kind of is like that. You've got to have a lot of foreign policy, I guess, experience a little bit when you're the pope. So it makes sense.
Maybe it'll be Nikki Haley.
Maybe it's Nikki Haley. So it says right here, Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin surged dramatically in papal betting odds. So they've got betting odds that you could bet on who the pope. You can bet on anything. You know that, Lindsay? You can bet on anything these days.
Yeah, I wonder if as many people bet on the pope as the horses. The Kentucky Derby. Isn't that what everybody bets on, those horses?
Yes, people do bet on horses, but well, I don't know. I think they just, this is anything to bet on. You can bet on just a multitude of things nowadays, and this is one of those things that people are. So I don't know. I guess you have to be really into who is the possible next pope to understand, I guess, to bet on it, because I have no idea.
I know what to bet on.
What's that?
I bet it's going to be a Catholic person.
I would imagine it would be. And I think, it depends on whether they're going to be from Italy or South America. Americans have like the lowest odds. I don't think there's
never been an American one, right?
As far as I know, there's not been. But I am not a papal historian, and I'm just learning this as we go. I do remember the last one I remember was Joseph Ratzinger, like when I was in law school in 2005, and I don't even remember when Francis became pope. It's not something I've really followed that much, but
I have not followed it either.
But we are about to see who the new pope is. So if you're into that, and then you're Catholic, congratulations, and I hope you're happy with.
Let's hope he's better than your last one.
I like the last guy. I thought he was great, but I think they're
of
trying
course
to.
You did.
I think they're trying to pick somebody that's in the vein of Francis, is what I was reading. So
what does that mean?
Like he's the more liberal leaning pope is what they're looking for. So I think you make, or and the other one maybe a moderate, like this Parolin guy is a little bit more moderate, is what I was reading. So we'll see.
Whatever.
So we've got some stuff for you today. Apparently, Shad White has done yet another audit. And Lindsay knows all about that, so I'll let her explain all of that. And then
absolutely ridiculous.
Salt Lake City, and there's something about pride flags that Lindsay can also explain better than
absolutely
I can.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
These are her issues, so not stuff that I really know a whole lot about. And then there was Trump has, I think we've all heard, has withheld some federal funding from Harvard, so that's been
as he should.
Yeah. So anyway, Lindsay, tell us about this audit.
Yes, so our state auditor Shad White just released some of his newest findings, and I believe, let me pull the numbers up, but it was something along the lines of $853,000 that was being spent by Mississippi Department of Health, and this money was allotted for HIV testing and ways to bring down the numbers of HIV in the state of Mississippi. Well, there were a total of 35 HIV tests actually administered, but your money went to a whole lot of other things,
right,
such as Queer Serena. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you know what that is, Sean? Because I don't.
I have no idea.
Maybe we should Google it.
Tell me what that is. Do you know what? I don't know what queer.
It sounds like something that my tax dollars shouldn't be paying for.
Sounds like a lot of political platitudes to me, but you can just tell me what it is.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's evidently some kind of party for the queers. I don't know.
For the queer. A party for the queer. Is that what we're calling it? Party for the queers?
I guess that's what it would be, a Queer Serena.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so then there was money that was given to helped fund the Pride Week celebration in our state capital of Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was money that was used in New York for Lyft ride shares to go. I mean, this is like 4 a.m. in the morning, going back and forth to this big lesbian bar that's been the longest running lesbian bar in the country.
Where's that at?
New York City. I just said that.
Okay.
You were listening.
Sorry. Hey, look, I'm just, I'm just trying to take in all the outrage stuff that they pulled from this. So I'm taking it in.
Yeah. So I mean,
stuff that I don't really care about,
I mean, like, yeah, almost $200 for Lyft ride shares, $4,000 to cover rental fees at a nightclub for diva brunches, which you know what those are.
Diva brunches. Is that like the strip club or?
That's like drag queen story time hour. You know what those are.
Drag queen story time hour at the brunch?
Yeah. There was over
diva brunch.
$90,000 with no receipts whatsoever. So there's nothing to show for that money.
Aren't we used to this? I mean, we gave a bunch of money to all these little organizations during that TANF scandal that basically spit it on themselves and didn't do what they said they were going to do. I mean, it's kind of nothing new, kind of par for the course.
They gave over $140,000, Shaun, for salaries.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, but there's.
Are these all the nonprofits?
You know how what you had to have to get one of those jobs that money went for their salaries.
What did you have to do?
You have to identify as gender non-conforming.
Oh, okay. What did you have to do for the TANF money? Like that was just like you had to pretend to be a religious organization, wasn't it?
Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about.
With the TANF money, the welfare scandal, the one that Shad wrote a book about.
That wasn't. I mean, what do you mean religious?
Well, a lot of those were like dudes out there saying how they were like part of these religious organizations and they got money for that.
What?
There was a lot. Some of the money went to those, like the DiBiase organization and those kinds of things.
Was that a religious organization?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a boxer.
No, it's a wrestler.
Or a doctor.
Wrestler.
And they were doing research on concussions. That's
a different one. That's a Provocus drug you're talking about. No, I mean, what I'm trying to say, to sum it up, we've given a lot of money to people that shouldn't have got the money. I mean, essentially.
But this is a little bit different.
I mean, I don't know if it's any different than giving money to people that say they're on a mission and they don't do what they say they're going to do.
This is on a mission to ruin and wreck our children.
But it didn't seem like they did anything. They didn't even do that with the money. They just kept it for themselves and salaries. They didn't actually do the mission of whatever Well,
they're working super hard to change the gender.
They just called it a mission and kept the money.
Which there's not even any such thing as gender.
Well, I'm just saying, it sounds like they just called it that, but kept the money to do whatever they wanted to do anyway, right? I mean, then you say they like spending like hotel rooms and parties and what? I mean, they didn't
alcohol.
I mean, let me just give you like a hypothetical. Like if they had this like gender conforming mission, but all they do is go drink and spend the money on salaries, and they didn't really do whatever that mission was. And so all of this, my point is, it's all a grift. It's not like they can call it whatever they want. They could say we're doing the Lord's work, but if they buy, trucks and houses, I mean, it's not. They weren't doing anything. They were just running a grift. So I think this is just a different kind of grift, just titled something else, where like the gender grift or the religious grift or whatever grift you want. I mean, so it's just so Shad's uncovering grifts, which cool. I'm down for that. Like I think he does a good job. That's not my argument. I'm just saying these are a lot of grifts that we've seen come out. I mean, the Brett Favre grift.
The queer Serena was for the Latino queer people.
Oh, well, I mean, there's gay Hispanic people. What's wrong with that? We could.
I don't know, but my tax dollars don't need to be funding their parties. I don't agree with their lifestyle, and I think this is outrageous. And I think everyone needs to be as outraged as I am.
It's outrageous about the funding the queer parties. Like, what kind of parties were they? Were these like sex parties, or are they just queer parties?
I don't know. I'm trying to read about this queer Serena thing, as I've never heard of it before in my life. It sounds awful.
I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody heard about it, because if you heard about it, everybody like, why is my tax dollars going to queer Serena? Or anything that, anything like that, I would imagine at least.
Here's to hoping this is only the beginning of more queer Serenas. I mean, they obviously were having a good old time. It was a party for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, they were having a big gay party. I mean, it sounds like a happy time with your tax dollars.
Oh, of course, the Mississippi Free Press would cover that.
The point is, our tax dollars go to so much bull crap that we don't even know what it is, whether it's, a gay party or, Brett Favre speaking for some foundation, whatever it is. I mean, it's just, there's always something that it doesn't seem like the tax dollars are intended for.
By the way, I just saw that they've ruled that Brett Favre does have to pay back that money, I guess, that was given to him for whatever
for doing
speaking engagements and stuff that he didn't get to do,
yeah.
because of 2020 and COVID.
No, this was before 2020.
Was it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was, Shad actually put out the initial indictments in February of 2020, from my recollections correctly. So it was before COVID. So all that stuff. Yeah, I think, and I don't want to get sued by Brett, but I think what happened was Brett was supposed to do some speaking engagements that he never did. This is pre-2020. all this stuff is going on. And if you look into a lot of those organizations were receiving money and not doing what they were supposed to do. And that was the whole big problem. That's why it's the biggest welfare scandal in the history of the country. And that's why Shad wrote a little book about it and all that stuff. And which is good work. His office did good work on that, obviously,
But I just want to know, like, who decides where this money goes and who is supposed to be watching it to make sure that it's going to the right thing, to what it's supposed to be going to, and who's gonna take the blame for this?
Well, the problem was when you're talking about TANF, what I believe is that there was these federal block grants, and then when they did welfare reform in the 1990s, I'm trying not to bore everybody, they created this federal block grants that would be given to the states. This federal money that would be given to the states, and the states would administer it the way they want through their departments of human services, most likely. And we're not the only state that's happened, and you can look at what happened to Oklahoma, California, Texas. I mean, a lot of states.
Dang sure doesn't make it right.
Yeah, so you get all this chunks of federal money and say, hey, do whatever you want with it, as long as it fits a certain criteria of supporting families, nutrition, or there's some kind of list.
But HIV and queer Latinos, they're not the same.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not. But none of the money in that thing got really spent for what the intended purpose was, or the federal purpose. It just got doled out through DHS or whatever the organizations. So, I mean, this is what happens when you get big block grants and chunks of money. They get doled out to people's friends and family, and it doesn't get spent on
this money
was
doled out
whatever
to
else,
the State Department of Health. So
yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it got
Dan
spent.
Edney, what you gonna do?
Well, I mean, somebody gave it out to somebody's friend, I assume. I don't know. I don't know the facts behind it. And they were going to put on a queer party, which they apparently never put on.
Oh no, they did.
Oh, they had
they did. Party. I see pictures from it.
Was there any pictures?
Yeah, there's pictures.
Was it raining men?
Yeah, I don't know what it was doing.
I'm just wondering.
It doesn't look like anything I would want to be a part of.
Okay, well, I'm just just wondering if that was one of the things there. So, I mean, did they at least spend our money on a good party? Is all I need to know, Lindsay. I mean,
if it was a queer Serena, then no,
I mean,
it wasn't.
I mean, you've been to drag shows. That's pretty entertaining.
I've never been to a drag show, nor do I ever plan to, because I think it's stupid to try to dress up like a girl when you are clearly a man. You either have an XX chromosome or an XY. You cannot change it.
I mean,
deal with it.
I don't know if you're really changing it if you just put on a dress and say you're a dude. You're not really changing it.
You aggravate the mess out of me sometimes.
I mean, you're not really changing it. You're just like,
well, you're just mentally ill, though. Something's wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that are mentally ill, like for various things.
I mean, I understand if it's like a powder puff game and it's all done in.
Oh, there are exceptions to the dress rule.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's like
okay,
all in good fun, but that also those things started way before people actually took this seriously and wanted to make it real, which it can never be.
Well, people have been putting on dresses for like a long time, right?
I don't know. Do you know people that have been putting on dresses all the time? Who are you hanging around?
I mean, there's drag shows like for years. I mean, it's not like it's a new thing. There's like the term drag queen came from. I mean, it's something we've been using before there was transgender. When there was like transgender, I always thought it was called drag queens.
But who wants to go look at a bunch of men dressed up as women?
I don't
it's
know.
Weird.
I mean, hey, look, apparently the state of Mississippi does because they have money for it. So, call your representative.
They probably all have
why
HIV.
They were cool with that. I mean, I didn't allocate the money for that. That's what your conservative state of Mississippi allocated it for. Karina, is that what you called it? Queerina?
Queer Serena. I don't know. Serena. I don't even know how to say it.
So Mississippi loves queer parties, Lindsay. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't like that, you got to call your legislator and ask why that money went there.
Not all of Mississippi likes
Mississippi
queer parties.
Loves queer parties. That should be like our state motto.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
We funded it. I mean, we're.
This is why we don't talk about these issues, because I want to
what
punch him in the face sometimes.
I'm just saying, your conservative legislature funded queer parties, so
No, the Department of Health did that. But anyway, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here on WIAB 103.9. Y'all stay back here on WIAB 103.9.
WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
All Britain's Jewelers.
When love requires a gift, nothing says it better than All Britons. Since 1920, we've been part of your family. From weddings and anniversaries to holidays, we've been there for every special occasion. At All Britons, we value your trust. Every gift, whether large or small, is a reflection of our commitment to quality and excellence. There's a reason we're still Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Let us show you why. All Britons Jewelry, 4460 Old Canton Road in Jackson.
All Britain's Jewelers.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Looking to elevate your ride? Weston Automotive and Rick's Pro Truck have you covered. From rugged bumpers to sleek step bars, Weston's top-notch accessories will transform your truck into a head-turner. And at Rick's Pro Truck, we specialize in custom installations that bring your vision to life. Visit us today for expert advice and unbeatable deals. Weston Automotive and Rick's Pro Truck, where your truck's potential comes alive. Weston and RPT. Trucks live here.
Come together right now.
We are back here at WIAB 103.9, Shaun and Lindsey crossing the aisle where politics meets passion, literally.
And this weekend we'll be attending Queer Serena. So if
We
anyone wants to
absolutely will
join
not.
us, we'll on the state dime. Thanks, Chad, for pointing that out for us, so we can
That
go to
would over my dead body. That would
publicly
never
funded
happen.
publicly funded drag show or whatever it is.
Never going to happen.
I'm glad we spent our hard-earned tax dollars on all these things, whether it be a queer party or Brett Favre's volleyball court or whatever else it is. So, anyway,
Well, you know who else is on my hit list?
who's that?
The mayor of Salt Lake City, a Democrat, of course.
Okay. Well, what did she do?
So, glad you asked.
Mm.
Utah and Idaho are two of the first states who have passed law saying that you can only fly approved flags in public buildings and in schools. Now, flags that are approved are their state flag, their city flag, the American flag, military flags, other states, other country flags. Basically, the ones you would think would be approved by the state. And the mayor in Salt Lake City didn't like that. So she decided she was going to try to go around the government and adopt new city flags, not just one, but 3. So that's what she did.
Mhm.
And her city council voted unanimously to approve these flags. And so now we have a flag that represents Juneteenth,
Okay.
a flag that represents the Pride rainbow.
Okay.
And then, of course, let's not leave out the trans. There's the trans flag as well.
Okay.
So those are their new city flags that they can, I guess, still fly because now they are officially their city flags. Ridiculous.
So, like, you're saying if a city adopts a flag, that's okay under the state law?
I guess so. I mean, it says that their city flags are flags that are approved. And so they decided they would just go change the city flag.
So if I'm a city in Utah, I can just come up with whatever flag I want and approve it as a city flag and fly that flag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what they did here. They went through
That's
the
what they
proper
did.
process. Okay, so then what's the problem? I mean, I don't understand if that's what the city elected representatives of a city want to do. They're not doing anything against the law.
What a waste of time, money, and taxpaying dollars. It's absurd.
Well, I mean, I understand, but if the voters in Salt Lake City are okay with that and elected all these
The
people,
voters didn't vote on it.
well, their elected representatives did, right? So, and all of them voted unanimously, and that's what they want to do. That represents their community. That I don't have any problem with that at all. I mean, that's what they want to do.
Shaun, there is a huge problem with this.
How?
Again, being trans is a mental illness. What do you not understand about that?
Well,
I don't care who wants to fly the daggum thing.
well,
We should not be promoting this in America. It is wrong.
well, that is your
period.
opinion, though. I mean, that's not the
No, it
people
is
in
not
Salt Lake
my
City.
opinion.
Yeah,
it is medical proven fact that this is a
It's-
mental illness.
It's your opinion.
You know Trump's going to sign an executive order to get rid of this.
Get rid of what?
These stupid flags that they voted on.
There's going to be a federal law has jurisdiction over that.
I don't know. We'll find a way to do
I
it.
mean, I don't know what federally you could do that, but there's a federal law that's going to prevent a city from flying a flag that they approve by their
A
city.
trans flag that promotes
I don't-
mental illness?
I don't know that there's a federal power to do that, but
Okay, we'll see.
I wouldn't see that. Now I see the state maybe be able to pass a different law or that pertains to these kinds of things. I would think that's possible. I don't think the feds could do it. But anyway, I mean, look, if that's what people in Salt Lake City want to do, I don't see why you have an issue with it. That's their business, not your business. Like, but you don't like it. But you don't live in Salt Lake City.
It is my business.
But you don't live in Salt Lake City. Like, I mean, if they were doing it in Madison, and I guess I get what your point there, but I mean, Salt Lake City, if the people of Salt Lake City want this, then I think that's their right.
They are teaching their innocent children. They are completely and totally indoctrinating innocent children to fly a flag like that in schools and public buildings and make children believe.
Did they say schools? I thought it was just cities.
No, do you ever listen?
Mm-hmm.
Schools and public buildings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is wrong.
That is your opinion, and
It is my opinion. I'm right.
And then, well, if the people of Salt Lake City think it's wrong, then they can vote all these people out. But apparently, they voted all of them in, and they all voted unanimously, so they're reflecting the values of their community, and that's what they wanted to do. So, I mean, I don't understand. See, that's the thing I don't get. Like, I get where you're coming from, just your way you feel, and this shouldn't be, reflect the values of your community. But I don't
It's
think you
not
get
just
to
the
tell
way
other
I
people
feel.
that.
It's a fact.
But you don't get to
This
tell
is
people
a
what they're
mental
supposed to feel.
illness. It is a mental illness that is plaguing our country. And just because you think there's only 8 trans people around here, it's not true. And the more that we push this narrative, the more children that are going to be confused and believing lies.
I don't think you get to tell people what
Yes,
they
I
want to
do.
feel. Like that, they don't get to tell you, and you don't get to tell them.
I get to tell them what is fact and what is fiction.
Well, they
what is-
obviously
what is
disagree with
reality?
you. I mean,
Shaun, I don't care who disagrees with me. This is not up for debate.
well, obviously it is because
No,
they voted for it, and they did have a little debate because I saw some of that, and they voted to have these flags.
There is
that
no
they
such
wanted.
thing as a trans person.
Okay, and that is your opinion.
No, it's not.
but the
That is
people in Salt Lake
no,
City
it's not. That
didn't
is
feel
not
that
just
way.
my opinion. That is
Well,
medical.
you should go to Salt Lake
Trust
City
the
and
science,
yell
right?
at them. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they decided to do it.
That is a medical fact. Period.
I mean, do you get to tell the voters in London whether they can do that or not? I mean, it just
nobody
that's
needs
not-
to be flying that flag. No one.
Well, again, that is their voters, their elected representatives said it's okay to do that, and that's what they seem to want. So I don't know why we're caught off on this telling people what they have to believe or what they I just don't.
I guarantee you, it doesn't last long.
Okay, well, how's it gonna change? I mean, I guess the state again could pass a law saying that you can't have
Because I
certain
can promise you
whatever.
that there are going to be parents who are going to be outraged when they go to their child's school and see a trans flag flying there.
Well, they can vote the mayor out then and then change it. I mean, that's their right.
They should.
Well, then
But
maybe they'll do
but I
that.
bet it gets changed before then.
But I mean, I'm just saying maybe they'll do that. But right now they haven't, and obviously the mayor And the entire city council is thinking that all their voters want to do it, or they probably wouldn't have voted for it unanimously.
Well, you know what? They might want to look at what just happened in this last presidential election. They want to keep on pushing all this radical mess on our children, and it's going to blow up in their face.
Well,
Just moms like me are going to make dang
Utah
sure
already
it does.
voted Republican. It always does. It always, always votes Republican. I mean, it's not like they're going to, but Salt Lake City is a liberal city and they decide that's what they want to do. I don't, I think they get to decide what they want to do. If it fits within the confines of the law, at least. Then apparently it does.
You do not get to lie to children. I'm sorry.
Well, apparently they get to, because that's the law. They can do what they want. They can design whatever flag they want as long as it's a city flag, just like you just said. And they did that. So that's their right. I mean, you can sit in silence, but I'm just saying, like, that's their right to do that.
It is not anybody's right to lie to children and tell them they can be trans when it doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a trans person. It is no one's right to do that. That is child abuse.
I think what they're saying is these are symbols of inclusivity, is what I've read, and they voted for that. So I don't know if they voted.
So just to lie to someone and tell them that you'll go ahead and go along with it. Their lies.
Hey, look, I'm not making a judgment call on whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I'm talking about whether it's legal to do, and can a community decide what's right for them. And I think they can do that. I don't think my opinion I get to choose for them what they believe. I just don't get to do that. And I think that's a problem that, people do.
It's not what anybody believes, Shaun. It's what is factual.
Well, I just don't think you get to tell people you have to believe this. I mean, nobody, this is not saying.
I don't get to tell anybody anything. God decides who has a penis and who has a vagina.
Well, I mean, what if they're not religious? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they don't agree with you. They just don't agree with you.
They're wrong.
Well, that's
Trust
fine.
the science, right?
Well, okay.
You cannot physically make someone that is a man a woman, or someone that is a woman a man, and promoting this and lying to children about it is child abuse, and it is wrong. Period. End of story.
Well, that's something that you could start a movement in Salt Lake City against, and that you could galvanize voters to change the city council and the mayor.
And you think I won't?
Well, I'm just saying you could do that, and that's fine, and that's the way the process works. But right now, that's the values of their community. I think they have a right to do that. I mean, if it's just that's their community that they feel that way. Now, there's conservative. I've spent tons of times in Utah. There's many conservative cities in Utah. I'm sure they're not going to be flying the pride or transgender flag or whatever it is. And that's fine for them.
Well, when there's a mass exodus from public schools and they get no more funding because parents say we're not going to allow our children around this nonsense.
Well, they could do that too. They have the right to do that too. I mean, again, your choice. Do what you want to do. I mean, leave the public schools. That's what they want to do. But but right now it seems like that's the overwhelming majority of that city feels like that's okay. So, and that's what they're doing. And I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's what they're. Well,
it's absolutely not.
I think they get to
okay.
choose. Well, they get to choose.
They do not get to choose if they can.
They chose.
They cannot get to choose if they make a boy a girl or a girl a boy, and that's what they're promoting, and that's the lie they're telling people. But I just heard some interesting news.
Mm-hmm.
The new pope is American.
Really?
From Chicago.
Okay. Wow. who is it? Do we know?
I don't know yet.
Does he have is there any flags flying out there, or are we,
they say he's a conservative.
Okay, well, there you go. I mean, so
maybe he'll get the Salt Lake City mayor in line. Maybe she's Catholic. That? I don't know. Maybe.
No, they're Mormon in Salt Lake City. I mean, in Utah, it's pretty Mormon.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. No, I've been out to, I spent a lot of time in Utah, and when you run into people there, a lot of them are like a lot of them that moved to Salt Lake City, they're people that were dissatisfied with the Mormon church because they just said they don't agree with it. That's they all end up congregating. That's why it's so liberal, because they don't have congregating.
Because they can't drink and they can't get divorced and they can't
and you have like a bunch of
kiss
wives
somebody before marriage. Yes, they have
so like all the liberal folks like from those communities in Utah moved to Salt Lake City. That's why it's so liberal.
That's where the Real Housewives films in Utah is Salt Lake City.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, so anyway, well, we're up against our break.
We're gonna take another break so I can breathe for a minute.
Yep.
Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here. WYB 103.9. Can breathe for a minute.
Yep.
Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here. WYB 103.9.
1039 WYAB.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom. First as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
At Johnny's Pizza House, we consider our customers like family. So we spend the extra time needed to put more love into making our pizza. From our dough made fresh daily to fresh, never frozen ingredients, Johnny's Pizza House takes pride in knowing that what we serve our customers isn't just pizza. It's a slice of home in every single bite. Great traditions start with great food and great people. Start your tradition today with Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
CBS News Special Report. We are hearing from the new Pope.
Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto.
White smoke poured out of the Sistine Chapel today, signaling his selection. The crowd in St. Peter's Square erupted.
This is one of the most exciting moments, certainly for people here in Rome. People are hugging. We're on the top of a convent. The nuns are screaming in excitement.
CBS's Nora O'Donnell. The new Pope is American. CBS's Maurice Dubois.
Pope Leo the 14th, an American. Robert Prevost, Cardinal originally from Chicago, is now the Holy Father. The last thing we were expecting. United States, really?
Papal contributor John Allen.
I am still dealing with a personal degree of shock here because I've been covering the Vatican for almost 30 years, but I can tell you this is an absolute first. The new Pope has eaten dinner in my house.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Kat.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
There are times in life when we find ourselves in need. We must call upon the help of our closest friends and family. As your local Farm Bureau agent, I would love to be on that list. I live right here in Madison County, and I'm here to help you. For a quick home, auto, or life insurance quote, and to find out how Farm Bureau can save you time and money, call me today, Robbie Gray, 601-879-3699. 601-879-3699.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Ma. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
When you feel like your business is drowning in paperwork and compliance issues, it's time to call P-Police. Let P-Police take care of the busy work so that you can save valuable time and focus on what really matters, growing your business. P-Police is based in Ridgeland, so you're always dealing with local professionals who will actually understand your business and its needs. Join thousands of satisfied clients who trust P-Police to simplify their employee administration. Visit ppolice.com. That's ppolice.com to learn more.
Come together.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, and we do have a new pope, Shaun.
Yeah. And who is it, Lindsey? Who is the new
It
pope?
is Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost of the United States, originally from Chicago. He will be known as Leo the 14th.
Okay, and well, congratulations to Pope Leo the 14th.
Yeah.
So, all right, I had
He
to add up
spent
the
much of
Roman
his
numerals there.
career as a missionary in South America, and he recently led a powerful Vatican. Is that how you say it? Yeah, that's right. Office for bishop appointments.
Okay, well, and do we know? I guess we were talking about whether his stances on issues where he's against female leadership in the church. Is that
So
right?
it says that he leans progressive on more progressive on social issues, but more conservative on church doctrine.
Hmm.
So he is in agreement that the people should be able to get divorced and remarried, but he opposes women in leadership roles in the church. So still some it's a little gray area.
Yeah. Okay. So he's for like people you can stay Catholic essentially and get divorced and then get
Yes, he
remarried.
supports that.
Seems like the church was going to have to evolve on those issues over. I mean, since basically everybody that gets married gets divorced, so you'd have to.
Everybody's not you, Shaun.
I mean, the divorce rate is what, over 50%. So I mean, it's a pretty good chance that like somebody that's Catholic is going to have been divorced. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the way society is these days. So I imagine they're like, okay, well,
We won't have any Catholics left if we kick them all out.
we need to revise. Let me talk to God real quick, and we're going to revise this thing. You know, it's amazing how these things evolve over time. Because one time, a lot of people don't know this, but priests were allowed to get married hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and the problem,
Catholic people?
yeah, but the problem with that was is they kept leaving their estates, their land, their property to their families, their wives, and their children, just like anybody else would. But then so the church got mad about that, and they're like, "Oh, no, priests can't get married," so they'd leave whatever property they had to the church.
So it was like the church was wanting to cash in.
Yeah, it was a money grab for sure. I mean, the Catholic Church is the world's oldest business, So it wasn't, God didn't will that priests going to get married. It was just that's kind of a financial decision.
I've never understood the way they do all the things. It's strange. Like we had in Yazoo, there's the big Catholic church where I grew up, and Father Curley was their priest or whatever you call him.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved him. He was so funny. But then one day he was just gone. They don't get to decide when they come and go. It's like they're sent for a certain amount of time, and then they're made to go somewhere else. And I was like, this is really strange. Like the people don't have a say in it.
Yeah, they switched. They moved them around to different churches and whatnot.
And you have to know all these things, like when to say something back and when to kneel, and when I'm like, I don't know what y'all are doing.
You don't know how to do this in church. Yeah. Well, I mean, they, it's it's the first church, Catholic Church, and it's had a controversial history over the decades for sure. There's been a lot of, obviously, we know about the talking about child molestation issues with priests, and
they don't let them get married.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that causes a rise in that?
Maybe I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, probably. I'm sure. I mean, if you're supposed to be celibate and I don't know if you're supposed to be celibate. I don't know all the rules. I mean, again, the rules seem to be ever changing, so I don't know what the rules are. But yeah, I think that's probably an issue. If there's, was it the choir boys are getting molested, and
don't their priests speak in like other languages a lot of the time, or
some do.
So I'm like, how do you even get anything out of church if you can't understand the language the priest is
I think it's more
speaking
about
in?
ritual than it is about the sermon. That's the difference between Catholic Church and Protestant. It's more about that. But, I mean, though, it's not just like, you can't blame the Catholic. You and I talk about this a lot privately, but you can't just blame the Catholic priests on the child, which has been terrible. I mean, horrible.
Oh, you can't blame them.
No, you can't just. Yes, you can blame them. I'm talking about but there's been, a lot of there's a constant news story about some youth director at a Protestant church that's molested kids. Like every day there's a new story. I saw like 3 last week. I mean, so this is just means there's an issue with that, with people that are attracted to certain roles in the church doing that. I don't know why that is, what the reasoning is, but I mean, it is a problem.
Yeah.
And something that we do see, that's and it's not just like it happens. It's like a common issue.
I feel like it's covered up a lot.
Yeah.
Around here, or in these smaller towns, I feel like they try to kind of hide it.
Yeah, I mean, like I've told you the story. We had that issue at Morrison the Heights Baptist Church with the music director many years ago.
Philip Gunn was involved in that, or represented the church, and they kept it quiet for a long time.
Yeah, they and just so if people are listening, the in the early 1980s, I forget his name now. I can Google it real quick, but he was a music director at that church, and I think he'd had a youth position maybe in the 80s, and but not at Morrison Heights. I think it was another church in South Jackson where he had taken advantage of young boys that now would be in their 40s, like my age, the early 80s, and they then he once I think he went to Texas, and he took another position back at Orson Heights as a music director, and he confessed, as far as I remember, to the congregation, and that's when all that kind of went out there. And then so our office, the DA's office in Hinds County, prosecuted him. John Langworthy, that's his name.
He just one day just confessed. Like, do you think it was like just eating away at him?
Yeah, I guess I don't. Must have been for all those years. I mean, he just admitted to it. I knew some of the people that were the victims personally, and I mean, it's just a horrible thing. This horrible thing that happened to these folks, and there was, as far as I remember, there was a split in the church about what to do with it. I don't remember all the facts behind that, but there was some issues, and that caused some just rough times. Anyway, Langworthy ended up getting probation, which was caused other uproar in the community too, based upon those things.
He got probation. That's all.
Well, there was, what I remember was, there was like a statute, and I didn't prosecute the case, but there was like a statute of limitation problem at the time, and that caused some issues that would have been issues down the line. And he because I remember my trial partner saw him at like Jason's Deli after he got his probation, and he was eating, and she texted me and she says, Langworthy is praying over his meal right now. I want to throw something at him. Like, it's like, yeah, right, dude. What a grifter. I mean, you're molesting all these kids, and no, not cool. So,
I went to Manchester private school in Yazoo City, and we had an older man there. Everybody called him Darden. He taught me economics, and single all his life. I'd heard rumors that he had been left at the altar as a young man, but he was just very involved in his church. It was a Presbyterian church, but he was also very involved with the boys in high school. And so they would stay at his house on the weekend nights, and he would tell them that you can go out and you can stay, you can go out and you come home by this time. And then, but the rule is you have to go to church. And so they would do it because they would want to go out and drink and wouldn't want to go home, to their houses. And so, and then he would make them go to church. But shortly after I graduated, actually it was a kid I used to babysit all the time, lived around the corner from me, found a peephole through the shower where he had been like watching and recording these boys all these years. And it's just, floored all of us, the whole entire community, because this man had been, like the guy that spends time with the boys and takes them to church. And you just never know. Can't be too careful.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like churches need to vet these folks a little better, because we see this issue come up quite a bit. I looked it up. It said in 2011, when I was talking about John Langworthy confessed to Morrison Heights Baptist Church congregation that he had sexual indiscretions with younger males prior to moving back to Clinton. So it wasn't, he wasn't there at the actual church doing that. It was other places, and I think some of it occurred in Hinds County and Jackson. So back in between 1980 and 1984. But he confessed to this, like 20 something years later.
So did any of his victims come forward and like try to?
What I remember, yes,
testify against him.
I think they planned to, for sure, from what I recall those days. But the trial didn't go forward because he ended up pleading to 8 counts of gratification of lust, and he was just given probation though, so he got a 50-year sentence that was suspended. I mean, so it's
I want to say they did something like that with this guy in Yazoo too, and then he flew away.
Disappeared,
never to be heard from again.
Yeah, Langworthy stayed around for a minute. I heard he died not long ago. I think I saw that article maybe or whatever. But yeah, it was a horrible thing seeing those, because when those victims came up, they were grown men at that time, 2011 or 2012, and it was just a terrible thing. But it seemed like it should have been more outrage from the church. That's kind of my impression at the time.
Yeah,
seeing that, like, there should have been much more outrage, and there was people that were outraged, but it didn't seem like enough. But I think it's something that that needs to be focused on within church bodies. Like, why does this happen? And
and parents, like, don't just think just because your kid's with a church director that they're safe. You just never know.
Look, there's 2 of us sitting here right here. We both know about personal stories from what I mean? Like, and I guess mine's a little different because over the DA's office, you kind of see every bad story of any kind. But yeah, I mean, it's just it happens a lot, and I've just heard different stories from different people. But what we always think about, this was back to our original conversation, was we always think about the Catholics, because you're like, that's so public, the Catholics and the priest scandals, and they made that movie, what it was called, Spotlight, about it. I think.
I don't know. I always the images that come to mind are like the kids in the confessional booth, and
I don't want to laugh at this. It's terrible, but I mean, it's terrible. Like when you associate, you think Catholic priests, you think about this, but it was such a huge. I think that scandal, like the first one, happened like in the 80s. That movie, we need to watch that movie. It won the Academy Award like 10 years ago, Spotlight, and
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's about some news reporters that uncovered all of it. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I want to figure out why this has happened within.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And
like, are certain people that are predispositioned to do that? Like,
are
more
they just attracted to those roles?
That they're around children, like young people, I guess.
Maybe so. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe if they're automatically just attracted to which there's now a thing they call it. What do they call it?
Minor
attracted person. MOP. Yeah. They call them MOPs. Minor something.
Yeah, because like me, like if you ask me, like, would you want to work in a role with young kids? Heck, no, I don't want to be around them. I mean, so I don't. It just I think as a guy, like there's. That's good. Yeah. So maybe you'd look into that. I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody that's absolutely not like that and just good with kids and good, people like that too. But
yeah, that's an argument we've had before. Cause I'm like, they're not all like that.
No, they're not all like that.
So I was like, well, most of them are. I'm like, I wouldn't say most of them.
Most.
Yes,
there's a lot.
You did. Yes, you did.
There seems to be a lot. Though.
All right. Well, we're up against our last break, but y'all stay with us. We will be right back here to wrap things up on this Thursday. WIB 103.9 Crossing the Aisle. 103.9 Crossing the Aisle.
.9 WYAB.
An American home just doesn't seem complete without that flag hanging from the pole on the porch. And where do you get that flag? In Jackson, it's at a complete flag source. I-55 North. You'll find U.S. and Mississippi flags in all sizes. And yes, that new Mississippi flag is available along with international flags and all state and territorial flags. They can build your flagpole and repair that ragged old flag. It's at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Malone is a company in motion, striving daily to improve the way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from a claim or construction. At Malone, you found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com. Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality cars, trucks, and SUVs. Priced to fit your budget. At Pops Auto, we specialize in trucks. From four-wheel drives to diesels, our satisfied repeat buyers know Pops has one of the largest truck inventories for any independent dealer, period. Browse Pops inventory at popsautosalesllc.com and get pre-approved for a zero down payment with approved credit. With warranties and service contracts available. Pops Auto Sales, your home for trucks. Highway 49 South in Florence.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at eliteroofer.com.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Hey everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2, guntactical.com.
The Tri-County Academy Rebel success in the classroom and on the athletic stage begins with the Tri-County Academy Booster Club. Join the team and be a Rebel by getting involved and volunteering as a booster. Your involvement is the generator for fundraisers, facility upgrades, equipment, uniforms, and all other needs. Tri-County Athletics thrives in part because of our TCA boosters. Join today by calling the TCA main office at 601-879-8517 and help the Rebels continue the championship tradition.
The Madison Lions Club is hosting its annual 4-man scramble at Whisper Lake Golf Club on Wednesday, May 21st, beginning at 8 a.m. Get your teams together. It's just $100 per player. There will be cash prizes for first, second, and third place, and even a $500 prize for a hole-in-one on any hole. Proceeds benefit the Madison Lions Club and include incredible causes like vision screening. For more information, call Betsy at 601-842-1564 to register or become a sponsor today.
Come together.
We are back here on WIB Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey. Shaun, we've almost made it to the weekend.
Thank God. It's been a long week.
You're ready for it, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, it'll be nice. So I won't have to talk about transgender flags or queer arena parties, or I don't want to.
He hates these topics.
I hate them, y'all. I hate them. Not because I just don't really. And I hate. I'm gonna say it. I don't care either way. If you want to ban them,
well, you
ban
should.
them. If you want to ban them all. If you don't want to, you want to wear your pride flag. I just don't care. Like I just honestly, Lindsey, I don't care. I'm glad I'm gonna say that. I've got to let it out. Like I can say, I just don't care about any of those cultural issues.
You should.
I don't care. I don't care because I guess I'm just like anybody. I just care what anybody does what they want to do. Like it's not my business what you do. Like do what you want to do. Like just leave me alone. Like,
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't care that people are gay. I have friends that are gay. That doesn't bother me one bit.
It is like rotting my brain when we talk about flags.
It's the the pushing it onto children and the lying about being able to change your God-given sex. And that stuff lights me on fire.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, we got to find some topics that aren't about flags, though, and or something like. I mean, or gay parties.
I ask you what. But look, now Mississippians are fired up about their money being spent to fund those things. It's just wrong.
Can we just talk about the supervisors talking about racist stuff? I mean, that was a good topic. Like I like that.
This is not the morning show.
No, it's about the supervisors. Yesterday we talked about the supervisors.
Yes, we spent a whole show on it.
I know, but it's funny. Like that's like I'm cool with that kind of stuff. Like that stuff I'm good with. It's just the
y'all see what
the
I do
flags, man. Or what? I mean, there'll be something else next month. Somebody like buy a gay Coke or something, and that'll be like people get mad about it. It'll be like that.
What are you talking about?
It's like the outrage of the moment.
Coke?
I don't know, like a pride colored Coke can. Something will happen. Like there will be. I guarantee. I will bet you $100. There'll be like some outrage gay thing next month. Like $100. There will be.
It's all ridiculous. It needs to stop. There's no such thing as a transgender person. No.
Like I would if there was internet, I'd have one of the internet. I would have no idea what people in Salt Lake City do, nor do I care what they do. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
Well,
care.
according to some of the reality shows, what they're doing is
yeah, I mean they're rocking
sketchy.
and rolling, man. They got flags. They're flying their freak flag in Salt Lake City.
All right. Well, y'all come back and be with us tomorrow, same time, same place, from 12 to 1, Monday through Friday, right here on WIAB 103.9.